G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very frustrating video. So, in today's video, we have this thing. I do apologise about the wind. It is very windy today, but we have this thing up in the air. One broken SS and one SS that we can't get into. Now, a lot of you have been following my Instagram story and stuff. I'm going to stand over here out of the wind. The SS is dead, unfortunately. It's very funny that we made a video about how good it's been the last, 2 months of owning it. I've had it for 4 months, nearly 5 now, and it hasn't missed a beat until now. I'm very frustrated at the moment because I have a lot going on, and this is the last sort of thing I need to be dealing with right now. But context, my partner was driving this car about a week and a bit ago. I've had COVID last week. I haven't left the house. This is like the second day I've been out of my house in like a week and a half. I just haven't been able to do anything. Haven't been able to touch any of the cars, and I have so much work to do. I'm so behind on everything. And I got a call from my partner. She was driving the car down Sydney Road. This thing's been having a couple of things with the trans. I don't know what it's been, but some things with the gearbox have just been a bit off. It's been a couple of noises. So she was driving down Sydney Road. She had a full car load. All of a sudden it started to smoke in the inside of the car. The car pulled next to her and said, "Hey, your car's on fire, you might want to pull over." So my partner ended up pulling over. She said the shifter started to vibrate a lot when she pulled over, and yeah, she turned the car off. It was smoking. She said it smelled like odd. It wasn't like an oil smell, it wasn't an electrical smell, it was something really odd. It's never really done anything like that before. It's been really reliable. She shut it off, they got an Uber to where they needed to go, and they came back, they tried to start it and it wouldn't start. It just click. So apparently my mate went and had a look at the car when it was in its spot that they left it in, and tried to turn the key, it clicked, and all the electrics started freaking out in the dash, and all the lights come on, and yeah, it just sort of had a bit of a freak out. And they called tow truck driver. Tow truck picked it up. When the tow truck driver came, the car actually started, and my mate actually put it into gear, and that car was in Brunswick, and it was towed to my mum's place here. It's been sitting here for about a week and a bit. I haven't touched the car. I tried to have a look at it the other day, but unfortunately, when I told my friend and my partner when they dropped it off, the first thing I wanted them to do was disconnect the battery, just so it didn't drain the battery and couldn't get into the car. Every time I get a car towed, always pull the terminal off and just leave it unlocked, just in case it freaks out or whatever. Because it's had an electrical problem, I wanted them to do that, but unfortunately my mate forgot, and the car sat here, the battery has died, and I can't get into the car. The key in the door's gone. The key in the door, because the car's deadlocked, there's a trick you do with these cars to crack the deadlock, open them, and whatever. So I'll put a story up. A lot of you have been really invested in this story on my Instagram. I had like 50 plus inboxes just of people like trying to help me out, trying to get the car started, trying to get it running. I can't even know what the freaking problem is, honestly. I have no idea what the issue is on this car, no idea. My missus told me, started smoking, gearbox started shaking, and she shut it off, and that was it. And she said it felt pretty catastrophic because she's been with me for a long time. She knows when things fail, if they're bad or not. I've tried everything to get into the car. So I tried the key in the door, obviously is the first one to go. And you've got to really yank on these things to open the door with the deadlock. But my key said otherwise. Key snapped in the door. So I managed to get a screwdriver in there, and I can turn the lock, but the lock just turns around in circles. The lock's broken, completely broken. So I can't get in, car's deadlocked. It's also in gear, and the steering lock is on it. So I've been underneath for a while, probably the last hour, with the jump pack, trying to put 12 volt to the starter. It's sparking, we're not really doing anything. I've been spamming the key button to try and unlock it, and I can't really get into it. So there's a few things I can do. I can smash the grille, get into the bonnet latch, I can smash a window. The window's actually down. The tow truck driver, he dropped it off, didn't put the window up, and I had to tape it up because I can't, it's just enough. I can't get a wire in there, but it's just enough that it lets water in up the top here. So someone's already had a go at breaking into it in the past because that's all broken. I don't want to break anything on the door and the window. I just can't be changing a window regulator, or like taking the glass and everything out. I just can't be bothered with that. I'm gonna probably try and go in from the front. I just bought this grill for it. As you know, it came with Chev badges, but I'm probably gonna have to smash something, unfortunately. So my phone's actually blowing up in my pocket right now because I've put a few photos of everything that's been going on. Plus, to make it even better, I found a nail in the tire as I jacked the car up. Tire hasn't gone flat, but there's a nail in it. So who freaking knows what the hell's wrong with this car? And you probably tell I'm very frustrated, just because I have so much stuff to do, you know, getting track cars ready, getting the VL done, because there's so much parts coming for that. I've got heaps of parts just rocked up for the RX-7. I've got to get into that. I've got, actually, let's step back a bit. Let's step back a bit. I know I'm talking a lot, but I just got to, it's the second video of the year, so we're going to actually talk about what the hell's going on. So if you follow me on Instagram, last week, my daily, which is actually over there, my Hyundai, which is just there, I hit a kangaroo in it last week. It was the first day actually driving after COVID, and I hit a roo, big one, destroyed the front right of my car, bent my steering, bent my tie rod, so that's sort of not in the best state at the moment. And then my Patrol is actually supposed to be here right now. We're supposed to be doing a video on it because the roommate's pissing out oil, and we're supposed to have the gearbox out of it actually right now. Well, it should be fixed by now actually. Now I've got to deal with this thing. The XL's just hanging in there. All the dailies are broken. The VY's broken, the Patrol I can't drive. The XL is fucked. My Skylines, both my Skylines are having issues. My 32's breaking up under boost. I don't know what's going on. My 180's running a little bit weird. It doesn't hit boost properly. My 31 doesn't idle anymore, my red 31. The best car that runs at the moment is my Mrs. GC8 Subaru, and probably my AU and my TI, which are the cars that aren't registered. So this is my luck at the moment, guys. I didn't want to film today, but I thought, fuck it, a lot of you invested in this, so let's just try and get to the bottom. Hopefully, if we need a gearbox, we need a gearbox, and they're not cheap anymore. I had a look online, they're about $3,000 or $2.5 grand, and the car costs $7. It's nearly 10 grand we're in the car for. So sometimes you just, you know, bite the bullet. You know, maybe I should have just spent a little bit more and got a nicer one, but at the end of the day, this is a little bit more exciting. So I'm going to keep mucking around with the jump pack and see if I can get the car to open, and I'll bring you guys back if something works. We'll just have to keep trying. I've been mucking around with it for about 2 hours now, just trying to get into the car. Today I was supposed to actually spend just, you know, fixing the issue or seeing what the issue was, maybe topping up the gearbox. I've brought some gear oil, I brought some smooth shift additive. So poor SS, we haven't even like modified anything on it yet, and it's already broken. Okay guys, it's been a couple of hours, it's actually been about 4 hours now. I'm finally in the car. Oh my god, what a pain in the ass this was. I tried a whole bunch of different things. Obviously power underneath didn't work, getting in the door didn't work, so finally managed to just pull all the under trays and everything wherever I put them somewhere, all the under trays out of the car, and I went up through the radiator support and managed to get this tab popped for the bonnet. Got the bonnet open, pulled the battery out, and the battery was completely dead. So something's really wrong with this car. It's really freaking out. As soon as I put any sort of power to it, the dash lights go nuts. You start it and it sort of doesn't want to start, then it just runs for 2 seconds and dies. But like all the electrics are just freaking out. Like I've never seen it do this. I don't know if it's the alternator that's gone, because we had my mate's battery pack hooked up to the terminals, and that was fully charged, and it was just freaking the computer out. Every light was flickering, all the tachos were freaking out. So I've had the battery on charge for about an hour and a half. The battery is actually puffed. We'll go have a look at it. Yes, I've used the FD hatch as a battery holder, but I've got it on charge. When we put it on, it was at 14.5 volts. Now it's at 13.2. But I don't know if you can see, the battery has sort of puffed. If you look at each side, the battery is puffing. So I think the battery is cactus. That's great. I checked the gearbox oil. It is completely full. I'll show you, because when I pulled the full plug out, it dumped some gearbox oil on the ground there. So that's still nice and red. It's not burnt or anything. So I think the box is okay. I think the box is all right. I just spoke to my partner on the phone before, and she said when it carried on, smoke was coming out of the bonnet. So something's fried inside here. So she doesn't know if it was the right or left side, driver's passenger side. So I don't know if like the ECU was frying, if something had cooked in here. So checking, I can hear all the relays sort of clicking and carrying on inside the car, so I don't know if the BCM or anything's gone. I'm just gonna pull all the fuses out, check every single fuse, relays. So jack it up again, because the car is jacked up in the back. I'm going to jack it up properly from the side again. I'm going to go underneath and just check all the crank sensor wiring side, because it runs all under that side of the car, starter side. Yeah, it's so weird. It's just, randomly done this. I do have a buddy of mine that has a lot of stuff that might want to come around after and do some diagnosing, but my mate came around before and helped me try and get this open, so thank you, Seb, for coming around and giving me a hand. But for some reason the actual main key doesn't work anymore, like the key fob doesn't work, and it only works with the spare key, which is the one I snapped. So I've got to switch the fobs over. I think what I might do is I might put the battery back on. Hopefully it's got enough charge that I can show you guys what it's doing. Okay, I put the battery back on. I want to see if it's freaking out again. I can hear the CD stacker. Here you go. Okay, it's not freaking out. The CD stacker's carrying on, but let's see if it starts. It just dies. Look at all the tacos. I don't know if you can see the tacos all freaking out. The CD stacker keeps carrying on and just dies. Okay, it's running now. I think the alternator's gone. I think it might be the alternator. System check. Okay. I wonder if the alternator like smoked and fried. It could have been the alternator, but I think if I let the car idle, it just dies. But let's see if it idles. Yeah, it just goes to shut off. I think it's got no charge, so I've got to hold the revs up. Oh yeah, the lights. I don't know if you can't really see it on camera, but now I've got the rear tires in the air, so I'm just going to test the gearbox while I'm here. Give it a go. Put it in gear. Okay, it's in first. Low traction. Oh, traction control. I'll turn traction control off. Traction off. And then into second. Oh, it's trying to die. Alright, we're in third. Tell me to put seatbelt on. Okay, so the car's running, but it won't idle, so I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure that the alternator has gone, because with the revs, I'm in third gear now. So I'm in fourth gear. The gearbox isn't shaking, which is good. It's just a little bit of vibration, but it's not shaking. My partner said it was shaking, so maybe the car was running rough and it was transferring through the shifter. So far, it's very hard to see. I'll close the door. I think the alternator's gone, guys. ABS fault. Airbag fault. It's running rough now. Yeah, see the taco stuck? It's running rough. Yeah, I think the alternator's gone. That just died on its own, then that wasn't me. Yeah, I reckon it's that. One good thing is we do have a spare alternator over there. All right guys, so you saw what it was doing before, and yeah, I've sort of come to a conclusion that it's fried the alternator. I got off the phone with my partner just before, and she was telling me the smoke was actually coming from under the bonnet. So I think it's fried the alternator. It started smoking. I don't know if it seized the pulley up or if it just, yeah, it fried something. Because I didn't actually check if the pulley was spinning, because I can't actually get out of the car while it's running because it just dies. I'm going to try and start it. I wish my mate was still here because he could just work the throttle while we have a look. I don't smell any belt, which is good, but I think the alternator has properly gone, because you guys saw the car was running good in RPM and it just sort of freaked out down low until it ran the battery drive power. So yeah, I have a spare alternator in my other LS there, so I might whack that on, see if that's all good, but I've got to definitely buy a new battery for it. So I'll definitely probably get one tomorrow. So get a battery, changed the alternator, and I think the car should be all right. Thank freaking God, because I was a bit worried then. I thought maybe this car had finally met its demise, but the mighty SS, like, oh, I can't get angry at it. It's just such a nice car. So we'll come back when we finally get the alternator switched over and the battery, and hopefully the car is all good. So we'll see you in about a day or two. Oh guys, it's a couple of days later and we are back, and we have some alternators on the floor. We've been tearing into it. Look down there, it's a gunky mess, but I just want to show you how bad this alternator is. Have a look at this. I'm surprised it was charging the way it did. The holes on the actual body are just completely gummed up. So this one here is a spare I had. So I had this one on my spare LS in there, and I know it works because it was in my mate's SS before it got rear-ended. So I know this one works. This one does not, as you can see. I bought a new battery, so I got that in the car over there. Sorry for the wind again if it's a bit heckers, but yeah, I've got to get down there with the I've got a brush just down here and some proper degreaser and cleaner, and I'm just going to go around and clean all inside here. And the power steering leak, I think, is that clamp right there. So I'm going to fix that, put it in, and then what I'm going to do is when we put the alternator in, I'm going to make like a shroud around it. I remember years ago I had a V8 Lexus LS400, did the same thing, leaked power steering onto the alternator, fried the alternator. So what I did was I actually cut like a bleach bottle out, like half cut it out, so it actually shrouded around the alternator, because they're the same setup on the one UZs. They got the pump on top of the alternator, and if they do leak, the alternator ends up wearing all the power steering fluid, fries the alternators. We don't want that happening again, so if it does leak in the future again, all that power steering can just run off the side of the alternator rather than going through it. Tensioner bracket here, or the idler, and that's just covered in shit. It's absolutely covered, so I'm going to give that a good clean. Get everything cleaned up nicely. My mate Seb's helping me, so he just went out to pick his cousin up, so he's coming back soon. Give me a hand, put it back in, and hopefully after it's all back in, it all works again, and fingers crossed, we're all good to go. All right guys, so a couple of hours later, a bit of fluffing around, and we've got the new alternator in, or the second-hand alternator in. So if you don't know how to get them in, there's 2 bolts that hold them to the tensioner bracket on this side. There's another 15mm bolt at the back, and it comes out. There's another bolt just under the idler pulley there that you can undo and actually move this whole bracket out, and it's easy to get the alternator out, move the power steering pump over to the side, and it all comes out. Now if I look down here, I've actually made out of plastic, I've made a shroud to cover the alternator, and this is exactly what I did on my LS400, and it did fantastic. It didn't leak any fluid onto the alternator anymore. So I've just got it through the front bolt hole there, and I'm going to cable tie it under the bottom so it doesn't flap around. It's actually an old thinners bottle that I've cut and looped around the alternator, and being plastic, it shouldn't you know, get in the way or melt, hopefully, because it worked pretty fine on my other car. So I'm going to put this pump back on this way, and then once I put the pump back on, I can take this line off and redo the clamp and make sure it doesn't leak again, because I've had a look under here and both of these lines from the reservoir are pretty good. So yeah, keep chugging away and plug it in and see how we go. How are we for oil, mate? All good? Yeah?
Nice and wet.
Very good.
Very moist.
Very moist? Very moist. So we just put it all back together and made my little turpentine shroud over there. So hopefully that's going to keep us out of trouble. But we did start the car and all seems to be well. Pulled the terminal off and the car still runs. So it's not carrying on and dying. So now we're going to go take her for a little testicle drive and see how it goes. What do you think, mate?
Time to go for a buster.
Go for a buster? Alright, just to prove, guys. Oh, mate, it starts so good, doesn't it? Mint, fucking mint. Alright, first time it's moved under its own steam in about 2 weeks. Oh. Oh fuck, I missed driving this car. Seems to be alright. We're going to turn the got the radio.
But
Yeah.
Freddy's a more
XL? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
I've seen that one before.
Like just this left now, JB, how he's come in.
Alright.
Yeah, it's me.
I think it's alright, yeah.
Seems right.
Yeah. Traction kicked on then. Nice. Oh, thank God.
Good job, Gary.
Good job. Massive thanks to Seb for helping me today. Freaking legend. Oh man, I miss driving this freaking vehicle. Well, the SS is back.
She's alive.
She's alive. Let's get a little bit of it. Fucking Valentino Rossi's out. Cool. Great success. Alright, do the old checkaroonies. Belt stayed on. Fantastic. Shroud still there.
Hasn't flown away.
Hasn't flown away. I don't smell any bad smells. No alternator cooking.
Smells good, looks good.
Smells good, looks good.
Must be good.
Just like you, mate.
Oh.
So we've got the new battery. So I just got an El Cheapo Lion, which is good because it matches the Lion. But yeah, welcome back. What a freaking adventure this has been. All for an alternator. And here's me thinking gearbox is blown up or something catastrophic's gone wrong, and typical things that wear on cars: alternator, battery, electrical. Yay.
400k.
400k, yay. Oh guys, I am so relieved that the car's fixed now. So, oh, I'm just like over the moon because this has been putting me back a little bit with everything, but you know, it's cars for you, so I'm just, yeah, wrapped. It was just an alternator at the end of the day, so. But yeah, everything seems to be going well after the test drive. Did a few laps around the block with Seb. I just want to say a massive thanks to Sebastian again for coming around the other day and today and helping me do this. I'm sorry I didn't film everything in depth because we were just sort of smashing it out. You can just see down there, you probably can't see down there, but the new alternator right there. Look at him. So he's charging good. So yeah, first time we started it, we just whacked terminal off, and that's when you know the car's gonna be running off the alternator charge. And we got our battery in there, so new battery, as our old one here is beginning to puff up. Yeah, that freaking old alternator, let's go have another look at it, because it was absolutely trashed. But have a look at this thing, it's just disgusting. Oh, I didn't think it was that bad. Obviously, like, I can only see from underneath, so you can see it was a little bit, you know, crusty and crummy. But like, once I saw the power steering fluid sort of dripping off it, so I thought, oh, straight away the power steering fluid's killed it. Like, all those bushes are just disgusting. So no wonder it smoked and carried on and the car didn't start again. I'm gonna add that to the pile of parts that have exploded. But at least now that that's fixed, we can actually start to modify it and do some cool things to it. I still want to lower it at the back, a little bit at the front, make it look nice. I don't want to do too much cosmetic. Paint the door handles, the rear wing, the front bar where it's all been blasted. Do an OTR or something. This engine just runs so freaking good. Who knows how long ago that alternator was replaced, but I'm glad this car's back in commission. I'm going to keep a good eye on it the next couple of weeks just to make sure everything's still good. We don't run the new battery flat, but taking the terminal off and running the car, obviously we're going to find out if that battery, if it's just running on the battery power or the alternator is actually charging up. So when the car did start, it was sort of like hunting a little bit, and then it come to, so I think it just had no juice in it. It's relearnt the new battery and shit like that, and now it's happy. Well guys, I am disgusting. I'm so oily. So I'm gonna leave this one here, guys, and I'm glad I can finally get a video out because I've been having to do this before touching all the other cars and getting other videos out. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this little saga with the SS. We'll see you in the next video, and hopefully, well, next video is gonna be fixing another LS. So great. See you next one. Bye bye.